In January 2026, my revenue was up 3 times on January 2025. So I 3x'd my revenue in January 2026 based off of January 2025. In no small part to a lot of the things I'm sharing in this episode around your plans, your strategy, your tactics, meta ads, my email marketing, all the components of a steam train that I think of in my head that help me picture that we are moving forward. This train is going to move come like hell or high water. It's not stopping still. We are not rolling backwards. Don't let this year be the year you start to roll backwards in your business. Let's not let our train start to slip back down the mountainside. Move it forward. Hey, welcome to Aussie Online Growing on Shopify. This is episode 160. Let's chat about my favorite analogy when I share about mindset and business is being the driver of your steam train. Sometimes I say you're the captain of your ship in some of my episodes, but today I want to share about being the driver of your steam train. This is a bit of a mindset episode, a bit encouraging. I hope it's encouraging for you as a business owner. It's less tactical, less about metrics in this episode, but about a topic that's sort of near and dear to my own heart in growing a business, growing an online business in Australia in 2026 is our mindset and about us as the driver of our steam train. I've got some analogies to share about a steam train or parts of a steam train and how they relate to growing a business. I drafted this episode 2 years ago. I've decided today's the day to finalize it and share it with you all. It's a bit fun. It's a bit quirky. I guess I thought it was a bit corny. That's why I haven't done it before today. But this year is maybe about being a better navigator of our steam train and less about the hustle. Perhaps this year will be your year of less about the hustle and more about being a better navigator or driver of your steam train. If you're just starting in your online business journey or haven't even started yet, haven't got your Shopify store together, then this year probably is about the hustle. This year is probably all about one of the things I'm going to share with you shortly, which is about the coal, the fuel, the things you need to get your train moving. And that's sort of like inventory or your website, the fundamentals that even have to exist in order for you to have a business. You need inventory, you need a website, like a payment processor, you probably need a PayPal account, you need social media accounts. All of those things I like to equate to fuel because they are what the components of your business, they're the parts of your business that will be used up, need to be actually used to drive your steam train forward. So just get moving this year. Hey, let's decide to get our steam train moving in 2026. Let's not stand still or roll backwards. Let's not run out of fuel. Let's not hit like a part of the track that's burst apart and has disappeared. Let's not run into the side of a mountain. Let's get our steam train moving in the direction that we want it to go. So the first thing is the tracks. The tracks are where you want your business to go. The tracks are in your control. All of these things are in your control as a business owner. But where are your tracks laid? Like, where is your train going this year? What destination do you imagine ending up at the end of 2026? Where is your train gradually chugging along to? Through the valleys, through the tunnels, over the mountains, along the plains, through the forests, around corners, like stations you might stop at. All of the parts of the journey of your business this year are taking you somewhere. And it's not the final destination that, we continue on the journey. We're growing a business. It's not like you end up at the end and you've like won and that's it, you've arrived. But where do you expect your business to end up this year based on where the tracks are built? Your business is only going to go where the tracks are built. Your train is only going to go where the tracks are built. And the tracks are in your control. Do you have a giant tree that's collapsed across the track? That could be completely out of your control. It could be something that happens in your life or in your business that is something unexpected, that is temporary and just something you need to navigate through and work through. But you'll get to the other side of that. It's not a forever thing. It's just temporary. It's like a disaster of some description. Is there a track that's fallen across your tracks and your steam train has completely come to a standstill? Or more commonly, I think, with us as small business owners, is your track really cluttered? When you look ahead as the driver of your steam train, you can see where your tracks are going. You've built them, where are they going? And you can see up ahead, are your tracks clear or are they actually covered in a whole lot of crap? Are you heading through, I want to say mallee bush, but I think that's the wrong term, salt bush here in South Australia, salt bush, like rough, ugly, hard, fibrous bushes that look like they are no good for anything except being like sort of knee-height ground cover that you just can't do anything with the ground around it at all. Are your tracks headed through there? Can you even see your tracks? Are they completely covered over? Are there parts of your business or your life that just need to be cleared away so that you can see clearly the tracks and where your train is heading? Because those things are within your control as well. And we have to be careful, I think, as business owners, our tracks don't get cluttered because of us. Like, we don't want to start cluttering up the tracks because we can't decide where we want the tracks to go, or we can't decide what our strategy is for this year, or we can't decide what evenings to set aside in our life to spend on our business because we're still working full time and have a family. Like, all of those logistical things that are decisions we have to make, I just encourage you this year to look out ahead, and then if your tracks are cluttered, then to clear them. If there's a giant tree that's fallen across the tracks, then clear it, but you're probably going to need help and support. There's probably something that's happened in your life that's a bit out of your control, completely out of your control, but temporary. But if your tracks are cluttered, not temporarily, but look like they're just constantly cluttered with stuff, let's clear it, hey, so we can get moving. If we haven't got our tracks, then we really are, it's just random effort. If you don't know where your steam train is going, if you don't know where you're taking your business this year, then each day is up for grabs, which means each day is a new decision of where you're even going. That's exhausting. It's not going to serve you as a business owner at all. I encourage you to not live in that reactive way when it comes to your business. Don't wake up every day deciding every morning what's important in your business for that day. Let's decide it today. Like, make the decision today after this episode. Come up with your own analogy that makes sense for you, that sort of speaks to how you function as a person, your personality, what you want from your business, how it fits in with your family or your kids, your grandkids, your work, your career. And just make that decision today so you don't have to keep making it every day. Decision fatigue is a real thing. And I share about this in another episode as well, why I actually really love systems, because I don't want to make the same decision 1,000 times. So let's decide today, where do you want to take your train this year, your business? You're in control of it, and let's build the tracks in that direction. Some of the things as well, when I think about tracks, are kind of like my marketing promotions or my promotional calendar I shared on a couple of episodes ago as well, where I've got little incentives planned for every month. Those are things that I can see in the future that I have planned out. So for me, that equals the tracks. Those things kind of equal a track for me as well, because they take me a certain direction. Those promotions have a certain outcome that leads to a certain bump in revenue. That means my business is growing in a certain direction and a certain percentage this year. I'll share with you this year as well. In January 2026, my revenue was up 3 times on January 2025. So I 3x'd my revenue in January 2026 based off of January 2025. In no small part to a lot of the things I'm sharing in this episode around your plans, your strategy, your tactics, the meta ads, my email marketing, all the components of a steam train that I think of in my head that help me picture that we are moving forward. This train is going to move come like hell or high water. It's not stopping still. We are not rolling backwards. Don't let this year be the year you start to roll backwards in your business. Let's not let our train start to slip back down the mountainside. Move it forward. Do something today and tomorrow that get your train moving forward. For you as a business owner, for your passion, for your dream. Like, our mindset is so important as a business owner. Hey, like, our business is so closely tied to who we are. I guess my next business, I don't know if I want to be this closely tied emotionally to the products and what I'm selling. I guess, does that mean I want to be like a bro entrepreneur or a venture capital backed? I don't know. Is this probably maybe my next business, I'll be a little more removed from the identity of the business, but I'm not with my current business. You probably aren't either. Chances are you are also closely tied to the identity of your business. So then let's embrace that and be prepared to, I guess, encourage ourselves and keep things surrounding us, people or podcasts or creators and books, self-help, all the stuff that you do personally for yourself as a business owner. I don't think we can value that too highly this year, because without that, you as a driver are going to decide to park your train and go no further. Let's talk about the driver next. So without you, the train goes nowhere. Literally, without you, your train goes nowhere. Without you, the train will stop dead still. It'll roll backwards. Like I said, it's not going to go anywhere. With you, it can creep forward. It can power on forward. It could climb a mountain with you in the driver's seat at the helm. I'm not sure. I think in the driver's seat is the right term for a steam train. You as a conductor, you are driving it. You can drive it up a mountain if you wanted to, straight through the mountain if you prefer. Up to you which road you want to take. Truly, you build the tracks where you want it to go. But let's keep it moving this year. Hey, let's not roll backwards. Because rolling backwards means, even at the start when I shared about like your inventory and your stock, your website, your social accounts, all the coal and the fuel, those things are tools. They're waiting to be used. That fuel is there waiting to be burned. And it's not going to be burned unless you chuck it in the boiler and get it boiling, like get it burning, get the fire stoked to get the water boiling and get the steam built up. Those things all need to be utilized to grow your business, which will push your steam train forward. Like if all else fails, hey, like stoke the fires till you are like got sweat pouring off of you. The steam train can't help but go forward. Like think of Back to the Future 3. Oh my goodness. Like Back to the Future 3. How good a film series is that? It's like that steam train could not help but head on forward like a rocket ship forward, because the boiler was so full of steam, the pressure was so high. So stoke the fire this year, hey? Like be the driver and know that the machinery is around you, the systems are around you. If you've got your website, your socials, your ads, your email, just stoke the fire, get some more fuel in that thing. You've got your inventory ready to go, which is something I need to do better this year, because I could stoke the fire and I could triple my ad spend next week. I could triple my ad spend and then I'll probably run out of stock a week later. So without the coal that's kind of there as the systems, the foundation and the resources behind me, I could very quickly run out of inventory and then I'll come to a dead stop. And that might be the same for you as well. Like what is it in your business that you just need to make sure keeps you chugging along, keeps you moving along? I'm not talking about powering along here at a record-breaking pace if you don't want to. My business, my e-com store is called The Turtle Journal. My life philosophy is to be the tortoise and not the hare. I should do an episode about that. I hope you find this episode encouraging and fun, because I'm loving talking about this analogy and I'm already thinking about how I can do the next episode about the tortoise and the hare, because that would also be a lot of fun. That is my analogy a lot about life, really, is consistent small steps keep you moving consistently through day and night, 24 hours. You just keep chugging along. And before you know it, you've won the race and the hare is somewhere back there taking a break, leaning on a tree because they powered off at the start line and then got exhausted. So let's just keep our train moving this year. Be the driver of your steam train and make sure you know where the tracks are headed. Build the tracks where you want them to go. Make sure you've got fuel and coal stocked behind you and you're using the resources that you have, probably that you pay for as well. Use the resources that you've got that you've already paid for, and let's get our train moving. Let's build our revenue, get new customers through the door, grow like exponentially this year if you want to, or grow consistently this year. Let's just not roll backwards. Let's get moving, people, hey? Let me talk about I've put pistons, but I don't know if that's correct. And since I drafted this 2 years ago, I really should have looked on Google this morning at least to see if it is if pistons are in trains. I know they're in cars. Should I say engine? I either mean the engine of the steam train or the pistons or both. But what I mean is core drivers of revenue, the things that drive the revenue, the things that get the wheels turning and actually bring the money in. So for me, for instance, meta ads, email marketing, product launches, repeat customers, and subscriptions. Those things, those 5 things, I can classify as revenue drivers or pistons or the engine house of my business. The engine house of my train is meta ads, email marketing, product launches, repeat customers, subscriptions. But 5 years ago, those things would have looked completely different. 5 years ago, it would have been meta ads. 4 years ago, it would have been meta ads, email marketing. 3 years ago, I probably lent more onto product launches and my subscription. And repeat customers has absolutely come to the forefront in the last 2 years of my business. Those things I equate to the engine or the pistons. They really power everything to get your train heading down the track that you have decided to go. If, for instance, my track is taking me somewhere and I expect to, triple my revenue by the end of the year, for instance, that might be a goal that I have. Then what are the pistons? What are the things that make up the engine? How am I going to get there? Like what will my engine look like to get me there? Some things you may have as well might be like SEO, in-person events, trade shows, craft fairs. There's so many different things that can make up the revenue drivers, but you need to know what they are because arguably, this is not a blanket black and white statement, but arguably, most of what you do day to day in your business should probably be somehow related to one of those things. If I think about all the tasks I do each day, if you think about the tasks you do each day, or 3 nights a week when you're side hustling, working on your e-commerce store, or the weekends, or at nighttime when your toddlers are in bed, or full-time if you're doing this full-time, of course, or in your bricks and mortar store when it's quiet. What are the drivers? What is the engine components of your business? Because arguably any task you do or job you do should be related to one of those. So if you have a bricks and mortar store, probably your bricks and mortar store is part of the engine itself as well. So that's probably a piston. A revenue driver is your bricks and mortar store. So the things you do to support your bricks and mortar store support the engine of your business and get your train moving or keep your train moving down the track you've decided you want it to go. We talked a bit about the driver. Like without us, the driver, the train goes nowhere. We decide when it stops, when it parks, when it fuels up, powers up, heads up a mountain, goes through the mountain, through a valley, stops at a station, cruises along the coastline. Like we decide where our train goes. And we need to keep ourselves fueled as well as business owners, which is why I guess an episode like this is a bit different. But I quite enjoy episodes like this myself to listen to as well from other creators that I follow on Spotify or YouTube. There's a couple of creators I follow on YouTube that I've followed them for a long time. Actually, one creator, she's called oh my goodness. The Productive Woman is the name of her podcast. Leah McLennan. She's a lawyer. She has a law firm in the US. She's had more than 500 maybe episodes. I came across her podcast years ago when my kids were little. She's been in the podcasting world for a decade at least, I would say. And I still go and seek her out every now and again when I feel like I just need a reset. If I feel like I'm getting too much in my emotions and I'm struggling to feel like I'm going to succeed in a particular task, or why am I even in business? I'm just no good at this. Like all that kind of sometimes hysterical sort of stuff that can sometimes overwhelm us as business owners. Things are never that catastrophic, but they can feel like it. Sometimes I go seek her out because she's so methodical and practical. She just like grounds me. I listen to her and I think, yeah, this is just a process. It's just a system. It's just mathematical. Many people have done this before me. I can work it out. And you can work it out too. It is your train. You take it where you want it to. Your train can be as big as you want it to as well. There's no rules. It's your train, your business. Let's just keep it moving though this year. Hey, let's just not stop and start going backwards. Take control of where it is. If you find your finances out of control, that's me. I've been on a spending spree and I have not paid attention to my finances enough for 3 months. And my credit card is showing it. And that's something I need to take better control of because it's a resource. Finances, revenue, my credit card is a resource for my business that can be used to power me in the direction I want it to go, or it's going to take me off track. I'm going to be out of control, barreling along somewhere that I don't want to be going, all because I haven't paid attention to what my finances are doing. So that's something I absolutely need to focus on this year alongside my inventory as well. What's the very next step in your marketing journey in growing your e-commerce store and finding new customers and converting them profitably? I encourage you to reach out to me for some one-on-one support. If you found your ads haven't worked in the past, top reasons I have seen with my own clients in why their ads stop working is a lack of creative diversity in the account, of exclusions and proper targeting, really helping Meta push to prospective users. And then ads that start to fatigue and circle the drain, that's when you find your costs start to skyrocket and you wonder what is going wrong in your account. When you run ads, your email marketing does better. When you do email marketing, it supports the money you are spending in advertising on Meta by ensuring that customers come back again and again, offsetting the cost you paid to Meta to get that customer for the first time. So there's no like crazy long retainer you have to sign up with me for. We can just work together for 1 month, and then you can decide if you want to continue working further or take back the reins and continue to DIY your marketing solution. And why reach out to me for support? Well, for my own e-commerce store, yes, I'm still running my own e-commerce store. And in 2025, my revenue is up 100%. I've doubled my revenue so far based off of 2024. The email marketing revenue I've had this year so far is 80% higher than it was for 2024. So I'm in a perfect position to support you in growing in your next steps. And let's really build out a robust, healthy campaign strategy that's going to see you succeeding long term. I encourage you to reach out to me. You can book a discovery call straight in my calendar. We can chat for 20 minutes about your business and the immediate next step you need to succeed in Meta ads or in your email marketing. You can find me at Aussie Online Growing on Shopify.com.au. You can reach out to me just by booking a discovery call straight in my calendar. Let's chat for 20 minutes on Zoom and see how I can support you in winning to find new customers to grow your e-commerce store here in Australia next. Back to the episode. I do want to say that as an engine driver or a piston to your steam train, Meta ads, and that this year, Meta ads is very much about navigating the platform and less about gamifying or hacking the system. A couple of years ago, any of us who were in media buying and buying ads, 3 years ago, 100%, 4 years ago, yeah, COVID, totally. Then hacking the system, gamifying the system was where it was at. We were all looking for the latest tactic, the latest trend to sort of get really quick, easy sales that kind of snuck through the Meta algorithm in some way. It was just the way the platform was. But 2026, Meta is where you need to be. Meta is vast. It's clever. It is where you can put your combined pieces of creative in front of a group of users. Meta will go find the person that responds to a particular piece of content that will get you sales. Meta is absolutely the place you want to be in 2026 to get consistent sales, everyday sales, new customers every day too. In 2024, much of my Meta ad spend was circling the drain. I retargeted so much. I felt like Meta was like pummeling my existing customers again and again. So when I think about Meta ads in 2024 and with the steam train analogy, then Meta was kind of, it was like my steam train wanted to go faster, but Meta was kind of just had the brakes on a bit. So I was moving along. Oh, a Shopify ding. It's always fun to hear that sound, isn't it? Shopify ding. Do you know I turned that notification off a couple of weeks ago for a few days? I never thought I would see the day I would say that I had so many notifications come through that I turned it off. That feels bougie and a bit braggy to say that. So I apologize. That's not really in my nature, but that's what I did a couple of weeks ago. I turned it off for a few days because I was tired of hearing it. I never thought I'd be the person that says you're tired of hearing the Meta notifications, Shopify notifications, but I was. But I'm happy to hear that one today. What was I saying? Sorry. Yeah, 2024, I felt like my steam train was heading in a direction, and the boiler was bubbling. It was fueled. The fire was burning. I was stoking the fire. I knew where the tracks were. We were headed somewhere, but I felt like my Meta ad spend was kind of it was like I was moving, but with the brakes on a bit, because Meta was retargeting. My ad spend was just going around and around the drain. It was I was growing then, but I felt restricted in growing. It felt like Meta had just kind of latched onto a particular group of users and wouldn't branch outside that. Things have changed, thank goodness, now. And there are ways, of course, where you can make sure Meta finds new people. So if you find that Meta is circling the drain, you feel like your ad spend is just not finding new customers, then please reach out to me for some support, because you want Meta to support your business growth in 2026. We want to navigate it, the platform this year. We want to lean into the AI. I encourage you to be less precious with your branding in 2026. This feels risky to say, and I want to tell you this is absolutely a place we all probably find ourselves as business owners. But this year, if you can be a bit less hands-on with what the creative looks like and let Meta do some stuff with your creative, you'll see better results. Yeah, Meta does some crazy stuff. I'm with you. Like, I understand that it can completely screw up how your video or your image looks. Sometimes you see wacky stuff in the caption. I've seen SEO taglines, like the SEO description on a product page, end up in the caption on a Meta ad. And you've seen some wacky stuff too, and probably in your own ad. So I'm not disputing that those things happen. But if they do, please don't like throw out the baby with the bathwater. Like, make sure that that thing gets fixed, but it's not a reason to bail on Meta completely, because your customers are there. Meta has spent billions of dollars on their AI updates through 2025. They are megalithic. That's probably not a word. They're giant updates. And someone told me that I heard on, I think it was Perpetual Traffic. It's a podcast I share quite a lot here. I often listen to Perpetual Traffic podcast from the US. They shared that the Meta update, the Andromeda update they did last year, the servers that they built to support this AI algorithm was like 17 Costco supermarkets next to each other in a desert somewhere in the US. Like, that's how big that algorithm and update is, that the servers that function and run Meta and that algorithm for the Andromeda update is like 17 Costco's next to each other full of servers. If that is true, I've heard that from a couple of people, that is mind-blowing. And why wouldn't you be on Meta this year? Your customers are 100% there, and Meta will find them far better than you will. You need to give it what it needs. Creative, diverse creative, a budget to match, and then watch it and be vigilant with watching where Meta spends, watching where it spends, splitting to make sure it's spending to new people and not just retargeting, making sure that the ads that are spending have got a good metrics to back them up, and it's not just sucking the budget and sort of almost cannibalizing or everybody with that one ad, but it's making sure people see all the ads. There's still lots of things we need to do in the back of Meta to see good performance this year, but you will see great performance this year. More, you can be confident that more now in 2026 than any other year, that Meta is the place you want to be, and that by being a bit more hands off with the branding, a little bit, I'm not saying completely, but be a little less precious with your branding or your brand voice, your brand persona. Let Meta take a bit more of that creative reins. You will see better results. You will see better performance for sure. I think I talked about the fuel. The fuel is all your resources. And if you stop sending emails, if you stop posting on social media, if you stop ordering new stock, if you stop putting stock on your website, if you stop doing all of those things, there's no fuel. You're not going anywhere. So let's keep our coal full as well. Like, let's make sure there's lots of resources to back us up, so that we have everything we need to go where we want to go this year, and nothing's going to run out. It really is momentum. I guess if you think about like a snowball rolling down a hill is another good analogy too. Small steps really do build on each other. So let's keep the momentum rolling in 2026. Here's some practical tips, and then I'm going to say goodbye for today. Where are your tracks taking you? Where are your tracks currently taking you? Where do you want them to take you that's different? What's actually powering your engine? Are there things that you need to pay more attention to that are powering your engine that you've neglected, that need your attention? Where are you headed for this year? Are you being reactive, or are you being strategic? Can you at least get moving in the direction you want to move a little bit? Can you start chugging along? I said, you don't need to head off like a rocket, but can you start putting time and energy and resources into your business to at least start moving in a certain direction a little bit rather than standing still? So let's be like intentional rather than reactional. And here's a couple of things I'd encourage you not to do if you feel like they're the things that immediately come to mind as tasks or jobs or projects that you need to do to support you this year, because these things might come to mind because they're easy, but not easy, but they easily come to mind. But honestly, they're busy work and they are not related to any of the things we talked about. They're not going to move your train forward. They'll probably clutter your tracks. So these things, you could probably say, more clutter up your tracks rather than getting you moving forward. I need a new logo or I need new colors. That's not this year. Worry about it another time. Park it, move it for another year. That's only going to clutter up your tracks. If your checkout works, you have a website, go with that because it's always going to change. Your website is never done anyway. Never, ever. It's never done. You're always going to want to tweak and do things on your website. Do it along the way. Don't stop your train to spend months on your website to make it the most seamless, beautiful, perfect presentation in the world. And you've not even moved the train. Let's get moving too. And along the way, you can tweak your website. I can give you permission to do that if you're going to ask me. Sure, tweak your website, but let's move the train too. Move the train first, and then along the way, you're allowed to tweak your website. If you're going to not move your train at all so that you can tweak your website, no, that's not going to serve you. I'm not telling you anything that's beneficial to you by letting you do that. So if you're looking for my permission, you do not have my permission to do that. You need to park it. You don't need new branding. You don't need a new logo. You don't need a new website. You don't need new packaging. You don't need new colors. All those things can come along the way. Meanwhile, you want to be worrying about consistent traffic and consistent sales. That's what you want to be paying attention to. That actually is your train moving. That's revenue. That's growing a business. That's it, improving your family's financial position. That's what we want to be doing. So don't obsess over small things or even wait for the right time because there never will be the right time. There's always going to be something to come up or a challenge or something that's going to get in our way or get in our way. Do it anyway. Do it scared, do it broke, do it busy, do it tired. You'll thank yourself. Hey, the December 2026 year will be so pleased with how you showed up for yourself this year. So let's show up for ourselves this year, hey, and get moving. See some success. Gain some confidence, get a bit bolder in our business and a bit richer along the way. Let's see some revenue come in. Hey, that's what we're here for. Let's grow a business and see it far bigger at the end of 2026 than it is now. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope that was quirky, a bit different, and I hope you enjoyed it as a bit of a mindset episode. I'll do one next on the tortoise and the hare. I'm absolutely doing that one next. Have a lovely day, whatever you're doing today, and I'll see you next time. Hey, as always, keep learning.